It's time for Power Hour.
Godamaya tipped $38.20. You should showcase Symbiotic Incorporated on the weekly and daily time frame. Education time. Cheers, Mitch.
Hey, Godamaya, thanks so much, man, for the 38.20 contribution right there out the gate before I even queued up my mic. Thank you. Happy Friday to you and the rest of the traders in here, where Bitcoin pretty lackluster, unfortunately. Just up against a supply line of this upsloping consolidation we've been receiving since we recaptured the key level April 22nd. So just butting up against it and just can't break it. Not enough demand for now. We are in power out of the last 60 minutes of trading till the closing bell on Wall Street. So I would imagine in the last hour, after such a nice week, maybe people would take some profit, take some off the table. But yeah, starting the stream with Bitcoin on the daily. You can see it exceeded the 61.8% retrace yesterday with the bullish engulfing candle confirmed. We've got a little less than 5 hours to go till our daily close here in crypto. And today we did see an intraday high, the highest level on Bitcoin since February 21st. Very nice. But looking left, I mean, besides this local structure on the 4 hour, there's just really nothing looking left until 99.3. So insignificant time scales, yeah, you're dealing with a level, right? Very well respected channel. But daily, there's just nothing. So as you can see, just scaling in here up against supply line. We've been testing it since yesterday, multitude of times, and now for the past 7 hours or so, buyers unable to breach this point. So sorry, man, my brain's like throbbing. I don't know. I feel like my whole head's like swollen. I don't know. Just weird waking up today, headache, and yeah, just trying to get through it. All right, so just hang tight, bear with me. I'm trying to get this coffee in me, you know, everything. So all right, the unsurprising continuation of a theme that's been going on is Bitcoin dominance. That just, I don't know, maybe an hour ago or less was at its highest level in over 4 years. As you can see, it's up 0.2% today, but that's all it took. Continuing to outperform all the altcoins. I mean, highest level since January 2021 now. When's it going to stop? I don't know. I don't know why it would stop with fundamentally, like, you know, what's going on with adoption of Bitcoin. So yeah, altcoins aren't catching that. But yeah, at some point, if Bitcoin's ever able to go on a crazy run, there's mania, there's FOMO, that would drive in enough new market participants to maybe usher in a nicer rally on altcoins. You need dumb, stupid retail money for an altcoin rally. And so unfortunately right now, with the way the economy is, right, people getting laid off left and right, so much uncertainty with equities market, all these things, I mean, these crazy layoffs. Retail is probably not thinking about speculating on scams that just rug pulled and lost over 100% of their value, most of them from the Trump pump, right? The Trump inauguration pump, and then it concluded with Bitcoin hitting 120K, or I'm sorry, 109K. Like, altcoins from that high lost it all. So, I mean, people are probably jaded a little bit, but also just probably struggling economically. I mean, you have, what, credit card debt, all-time highs, credit card interest rates, all-time highs, vehicle, automobile industry delinquencies, all-time highs, interest rates on those, all-time highs, housing supplies spiking, right? No one can afford to buy homes or to get mortgages too high. So these are just like, yeah, the normie is like really struggling. So it's gonna take a lot to get that normie's psyche, ready to speculate on scam coin beanie babies again. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, probably going to have to go a lot higher than 100K on Bitcoin, maybe, to really see, you know, your favorite S coins really pump outside of fart coin. So, here's speaking of, right, underperformance, here's Ethereum. It's about the same performance today as Bitcoin, but yesterday was that bullish engulfing candle. It was the highest daily candle close since beginning of April, like 1 month highs. You broke the supply line. You've been in for months since mid-December. And so you're just waiting on, like, okay, we're just waiting on Bitcoin for 100K at this point, you know, above 93,000, given enough time based on history. There's a high probability of 99.3. Well, we're waiting on it. Well, given enough time above 1728, we're just waiting on 2K, 2050 on Ethereum. And if, like, you're lucky, which, again, it's going to require some luck. There's not really an edge that's indicating this, right? So no increased probability. But if you just think about what is going on with my tool, my Fibonacci tool, man. Like, if we just talk about common retraces on Ethereum, and this is like, it tops out here. It's like, Moon Boys, sorry, you're not getting 15K. You're not even getting 4K. If you're just going common retrace, we don't even know. This is what's crappy about Ethereum. You don't even know if you can anchor, if your anchor points of your Fibonacci at this point are valid, right? Because the rule of Fibonacci anchoring is you don't really know. You don't have valid anchor points until the price of the asset retraces 23.6%, right? And that is right here at that $2,024 level. At that point, if Ethereum is able, if buyers are able to achieve that retrace, then you can say for sure high to low is valid on Fibonacci, and then we can start talking about that's probably the bottom before we rally to, you know, between 2420 and 3062. That's your common retrace zone, your golden zone. So I mean, think about how crazy that is, dude. I mean, okay, Fibonacci wise, not even a 23% retrace. Okay, and we just go back to Bitcoin real quick. If this Bitcoin chart was the Ethereum chart, Bitcoin would be trading at probably $79,653 from its high to its low. Think about the fib nodes here. I mean, right, just from their peaks to their valleys. Either way, I mean, this was the same peak that I used on Ethereum. Ethereum never came back to those levels, so they're the same anyway. So it's still relevant. Let's just say Ethereum was performing to Bitcoin equally, where would Ethereum be trading at? Ethereum would be trading, you wouldn't believe it, it would be at over $3,000. So pretty much Ethereum underperforming Bitcoin via Fibonacci by like 66%. And remember, Bitcoin's kind of above the 618 right now. It's like 70%. Ethereum would have to rally to just equal Bitcoin in performance to its retrace from its lowest low. That's just crazy. This is the second largest crypto in the world. Whatever, yeah. Ethereum Bitcoin's flat, down, whatever. It's going to be the same. So I don't really care about looking at it. XRP is flat, still below that potential inverse head and shoulders neckline. But remember, we discussed like it's okay because you're still making a higher low at 212. So as long as you keep making higher lows, everything will work out. But man, they can't break it. They're just bad performance. We looked at XRP paired against Bitcoin yesterday on stream, and it looks like there's a lot of downside on it, to be real. Yeah, very weak. I mean, think about this high. This is when Bitcoin topped out, just around the same time. High to low. Where's it, XRP relative to Bitcoin? Well, it's at 38% retrace. So we now have valid Fibonacci anchor points, high to low. If XRP was performing equally to Bitcoin in its Fibonacci retrace, XRP would currently be trading at $2.71. So XRP is off the 23.6%, not even close to as bad as Ethereum, but still you can see since the bottom, Bitcoin has really been the show. Okay, pray for a breakout. Pray for altcoins to perform better against Bitcoin, but I don't see how or why they would. It would require some sort of crazy catalyst, or it would require Bitcoin going manic. Bitcoin had to be like 105K. I mean, you got to, again, Bitcoin has to do some crazy things to usher in the dumbest of dumb money that would propagate a altcoin rally IMO. So, chat, are you here? It's 3:16 p.m. Eastern. We're just looking at these bigger cryptos for a minute. Then we're going to go to the S&P. Whatever. We look at Solana and we'll just go. Solana, see it down 1.5%. Nothing to do here but probably wait for a pullback. If you're a swing trader, if you want to be strategic, have optimum risk management, there's just nothing to do here. You're not at resistance. You're not at support. You've just gone on a 65% rally in 37 days. And yeah, you're probably you're sitting and waiting for a pullback if you're lucky. But it may not. It may rally to 162 this weekend or next week or whatever. Bitcoin breaks the resistance and runs to 100K. Okay, cool. It's down today, though. And Solana paired against Bitcoin, its chart looks like Solana's cooked. Like Solana paired against Bitcoin is cooked, where any outperformance that Solana receives to Bitcoin will be short-lived. In long term, Bitcoin will continue to outperform Solana, Ethereum, XRP. It's the Bitcoin show. Sorry. S&P 500 coming off its highs of the day and the week in power hour, right? This is the last 60 minutes of trading. This is when people take day traders take profit. Traders from the beginning of the week might be closing out positions, but it's nice. I mean, it's really cool to see that buyers today have somehow recaptured 565, which this is, you know how important this level is. This is the biggest deal. No one filled gaps, though, because guess what happened pretty much yesterday and today together? You filled the gap from April 2nd. So I would say Jesus chimes for that. Very nice. Still below the 200-day moving average. Just floating on up. Still want to probably make a higher high than the March 26 high. You broke a supply line. Any pullbacks, as long as, like, you know, say next week it starts, we get a big sell-off. I mean, anything, you go fill the gaps at 527. As long as we can make a higher low than 508 at this point, we'll probably be okay. But yeah, what a nice run. You want to see this weekly? If you remember, you see people wouldn't, ever come in here and talk crap. It's like, who else did you watch or follow that was identifying the piercing line reversal on Bitcoin on the weekly? Please show me, because that's what happened. And you didn't catch follow through the first week, but last week bullish engulfing candle, and you did catch follow through then, and now even more. So this is like established as a reversal. And look at that volume signature. Mother of God, crazy volume on the piercing line. And what's so interesting about the spider is they didn't test the old all-time high from January 2022, though it looks like they did. They front ran it by maybe $2 or less. You can barely see it, that wick, that shadow, but they didn't touch it. And you know what else was like that? Bitcoin. Remember Bitcoin? We had a target area of 73.8 after that breakdown of that 92K level. 73.8. You were off by like 600 points. They front ran it. They didn't let the old all-time high right here from March of 2024 get tested, though, again, 600 points off, which would be how much percentage-wise? 0.6%. So S&P 500 and Bitcoin, two different markets, right? Same characteristics relative to two different major swing highs, old all-time highs. One was from way back, right? One was from here. That's the S&P's old all-time high. Bitcoin came in, made a fresh all-time high in March. Anyway, so pretty cool. Piercing line on the Dow Jones, also now catching follow through. And buyers recapturing that $41,200 level. It's very good. Yeah, broke the supply line. Yeah, again, that's a big deal, man. Yeah, breaking this. Wow. Unfilled gap, though, at 42,239. Unfilled gap at 39,170. So it's like now the question is, which gap would fill first? Well, it seems like we're beginning a big retrace, right, from the high to low. Well, you're already 50% of the way there. So the 618, 41.8. And the deeper retraces, you get to start thinking about bat patterns. 886 is $44,100. So phenomenal recovery for sure. And what was awesome a couple days ago was that really nice and strong back test of 39.8 to 40K. Right? They tested it, and the bids just violently came in, and we closed higher than the open, and then we broke the supply line. Really, today you were breaking it yesterday, but actually closed below it, and today you've just gapped up, and you've just kind of been running all day.
Anonymous tipped $25. Do you think Trumpcoin jumped the creek last week? You got these.
The creek? Trumpcoin had a creek, man. I don't know. We can look at it. That's all I can say. We'll look deeply into the Trump creek. Thank you, man. NASDAQ had its own piercing line reversal on the weekly. It was freaking artistic. So much demand they couldn't even test the 200-week bullish golden candle last week. Recapturing 16,443 was such a big deal. Now it looks like could be very well looking at 18,653 for a test, right? Because when they broke it on the weekly, they had never regarded it as resistance. So that might be what they're going to do. Hopefully they break it, but a test anyway might be on deck from July of last year. Wonderful. My God, man. I mean, think about the NASDAQ from its nadir, from the lowest point of all the fear of the trade stuff, up 21.5% in about a month. Yeah, life comes at you fast, man. Man, so the S&P's demand line, I don't even know if it got it. Oh, yeah, it had its own demand line that it bounced off of on the monthly. If you remember the monthly. Goodness gracious. Right, the old COVID wick low and the bottom of the 2022 bear market, 1 and 2 anchor points. You got pretty much a third one here, and now like a 15+% recovery. And on the new month, the first week, really good start. Going for, I mean, what was it, the highest? We're going for the highest weekly candle close in like Spider, and I think the NASDAQ going for their highest closes in 2 months. You'll have it in 35 minutes. If you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button above the sub. Thanks for being here. For the people that are here, like imagine, there's like only like 450 people here. Dude, this is what I'm saying. Like, people are hurting economically, I think. But the people will return. They will return. And they will return with FOMO on their mind. So the Russell 2000 ETF weekly, that test of 173 it was piercing line-ish kind of, but man, look at you now, $200. If they break that, easy 209, 213. That's where you're up against. You're up against this one last level. You've broken the bottom of the zone, the top of it. You're just right at it. Recapturing the 200-week moving average looks like it's going to be confirmed on the weekly. That's nice. Yeah, man. Supply line here was broken. Man, what a nice retrace so far. And the thing is, like, there's an unfilled gap today that easily could be. There's multiple unfilled gaps below you. So eventually they will fill. You just wonder, do we see 209 first before they fill later for a retest later in the year? That volume, man, the volume at support, it really did. that's such a textbook thing. When you get stupid levels of volume like that, oftentimes it can be when everything changes, when things shift, and looks like it was that case, at least in the short term, for these index funds. Beautiful. Let's look at Tesla real quick. Still button up against resistance. Man, yesterday's candle was not great, and you're still up against the resistance, where it's like, that's hard for risk management. But again, it's probably, we'll look back in like a year or two and be like, dude, any time down here was probably a good level to start DCAing, dollar cost averaging. Because if they break this $300 level next week or something, the upside, $400 target, man. Like, you wouldn't believe it if they can break this resistance. Now, it's a big deal. That's like tall order. Can they break the resistance? I don't know. But I know the consequences if they do break it successfully. Look at that volume. Lots of volume at the bottom. So just common retraces, right? I mean, a 618 is 382. I could see it, man. Yeah, I'm down with Tesla. Nvidia up 2.5% today. Unfilled gap just below you. You're still not making a higher high than the April 9th high. You're still just at it. And then you have to break 118 after that. But yeah, you could just be going for a common retrace after a spring back test of spring. Nice. Old all-time highs from March. Anything above that's okay. What would a common retrace on Nvidia be? Well, 50% is 120. 618 is 128. Then your deeper retraces are near that 140 level. So Meta though, wow. Oh, dude, they were trying to break 600 today. They just can't do it. At the highs today, you were trading above it when I was looking at it. So unfilled gaps below you, it's tough, man. That's kind of sketch. It's like, well, next week, what if they go down to fill these gaps, or at least one of them, pivot, making a higher low, and then run later? Man, think about if it filled next week. That means like Meta would have to go down like almost 9%. Yeah, that's the issue with these unfilled gaps, man. Like, they're gonna fill. You just don't know. Oh, it could go to 632 first, and then we roll over later and then test it. Google at 1.7%. Nice. Broke out of the descending broadening wedge yesterday. Catching a little follow through today. Still the unfilled gaps. And retrace wise, though, you got some upside. Yeah, you're just only at a 38% retrace right now. So look, an unfilled gap is confluent with a 50% retrace at 174, good target area. The 618 confluent with an overhead resistance from October. Yeah, I like these. Yeah, so there's probably some more upside on Google too. Amazon flat today, but Matt, you gotta love this. Okay, think about how bad it was yesterday. Amazon was down like 6% at the lows, fell back below 188. This might be a great long opportunity, and I know there's unfilled gaps and it sucks. But like to manage risk, you just wonder, like, maybe you have a stop below the gap or something. But I mean, it could just be that simple, like an entry now, not wanting to own it below 188. Why is it such a big deal right here? Because 188 is like everything, dude. Dude, it is straight up so important. Go back to 2021. Oh, yeah. And look what they're doing in the past 48 hours. Oh, it's just being regarded as support. Earnings didn't matter. Opened where you closed, and another successful bullish back test on Amazon. You got to admire that price action correlation to key levels, old all-time highs. I just want, if that is real, then an easy $200 target. If they break it, you're just going for a full-on retrace, Fibonacci retrace, high to low. You're already at a 38% retrace right now. So like 618, 211. I mean, deep retraces. 886 is 233. Yeah, that's really interesting. Price action, man, on Amazon. Please pay attention to the 188 being defended again. Microsoft up 2.4. 1%. This one's just completely turned it around after that earnings report, and unreal how they're like back above 430, and you're going to close the week above 430. That's phenomenal. I mean, so you think about what this retrace is, you know, from its high to low now. I mean, it's already near a 78% retrace. Yeah, Microsoft turned it around, man. And it all started with a back test of the old 2021 all-time high. Good God. And they tried again. I guess there was just too much demand. They couldn't test it once more. So Apple down 4% earnings. And yeah, it's still just floating in between two levels. All the gains from last week just wiped out in one day, but it's really not a big deal. That gap's a nothing burger gap. It'll probably fill. There's just gaps everywhere. Gaps April 2nd, April 21st, 22nd, and now May 1st. 4+ gaps. Crazy. So yeah, did not recover on earnings like Amazon did. Not having a good time. Went higher high. Same highs. Okay, so Bitcoin, less than 30 minutes to go to the closing bell on Wall Street. Still near its low point of this 4-hour candle. Still failing to break supply line. Let's look at SYM real quick. It's a request from Gudamaya. Thank you, dude, for supporting the channel, dude. Really appreciate that, man. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, well. Yeah, the one thing about it is pretty cool. You know, you've got an old all-time high. Well, just an old peak from June 2022 and July 2022. Then you had that period in 2023 where they broke it. Then they retested it, reconfirmed its validity as support, and look what happened. Proceeded to make all-time highs. That level, that tells you, that's your history. That's your lore of Symbiotic Incorporated. Legendarium. Okay, so years will go by and there could be a similar type of story that would occur there. And guess what? What was once myth and legend happened again, where they recaptured the key ancient battleground and they have reconfirmed its validity as support. Now, you did gap up today, like many others, up 5.4%, so that gap will probably fill. But that's just good price action correlation to a level, at least for now. Got to wonder if it will turn into anything magic. I would probably say, is that really good level? Say like 28 to 31 would be on deck if you caught follow through on this spring back test of spring. M shape's a little wonky for me because there's no evidence of accumulation. The retrace on B is way too deep. I mean, this is almost like you're waiting for 1064 because it's like a butterfly.
Can we look at Kaspa? Thank you, Mitch.
Hey, Chicken Biscuit, man. Thanks for the $20, dude. Yeah, we'll look at Chicken Biscuit coin. Thanks, man. Sorry, chat. Too much supply at supply line on Bitcoin. Yeah, in the past 3.5 hours, this is the lowest point we've been. Get wrecked. Thank you, dude. Chicken Biscuit. Yeah, so that right there, I mean, someone would be like, inverse head and shoulders? Maybe. Stop loss, pretty simple, right? Stop loss probably at like less than $20, you know, give or take, maybe 1980 or something. That'd be just a way, if you're trying to play price action correlation to a level, you understand there's an unfilled gap, so maybe a little below the gap, below the psychological 2020. If you were going to play it, let's go to the weekly. He said it's amazing on the weekly. Well, on the weekly, what they do, they bullish engulfing candle last week, and this week they, after recapturing the level, they reconfirmed it as valid. It was resistance, support. It's now support, and that's a follow-through candle off the engulfing, which we already had an engulfing candle on the week of the 7th. But yeah, I mean, there's tremendous upside potential if this is real. We don't ever act like we know if a spring back test is real. We just know that someone could set a stop loss up. If the stop loss gets triggered, you're not losing much. You go on with your day. But the upside potential, if it's real, is maximum upside. Tremendous upside potential if it's real. So yeah, I'd still kind of weirded out because like I look at a structure like this and I always hate when you have an X and an A, then you have a deep B, a 786 retrace on B, then a lower high on C. There's no wave structure out there that's good. There's no bullish wave structures that occur after that. So it's like that X marks the spot, right? I mean, that's really amazing. A 1272 at a key support from history, that would definitely be, and you'd be losing 50% of your value. That would be the wave structure that's being painted right now. So, I mean, they could end up spring back test, oh, nice rally, then a lower high again because the trend is bearish. And then we go eventually see it. So your spring back test might be good, but it might result in a lower high and you come up and you hit, right? You come up and you could hit $30 for a check back and then make the lower high. Trend continues and you eventually make your way to $10, $11. So just because you get the spring back test doesn't reverse the trend. It would require buyers recapturing $34 to begin a trend reversal argument. But the fact is that why I hate this is like, in a way I hate it, not completely, is because you just made it the lowest low of the downtrend. There was no higher low, right? We want to see 886 M shapes because at least they're higher lows. There's more than before. There's less than before here. So take that how you will. You don't have a good wave structure, but it doesn't mean the spring back test can't result in a nice rally, but that rally might very well conclude being lower high than the previous high and you roll over later, right? So things to keep in mind, keep you grounded. Does that make sense, Good Maya? At all? Because I mean, dude, it could like, oh wow, you know, it just does that and goes up, wow, 30% lower high. Okay. Oh, I can't see the numbers. Mother of God, dude. How long has that been going on? Sorry, man. Jesus. It's been too long. Anyway, Bitcoin can't hold it together, chat. Supply line's too powerful. Get wrecked. Here's your futures. Top left S&P. Top right Dow Jones. Bottom left NASDAQ. Bottom right Russell 2000. Right off their highs. Not by much, but they just are. Next request was Trumpcoin. Here we go. Trumpcoin, baby. Sorry about the number thing. Y'all are good now, though. All right. My Trumpcoin. People wondering, oh, we got a creek. We jump across the creek. Creeks are, you know, I mean, anytime a supply line's broken, I guess you can call it a creek. Creek, the terminology of a creek, though, would be after a rectangle, you're inside a structure, composite operator structure, and you've had a drawdown from the high to low of the structure. They defend the bottom of the range, and then you break a supply line. That's the creek. I mean, this just, I wouldn't call, is there a composite operator on this chart? No. Have you made a higher high yet? No. In fact, you could be putting in the lowest high. Remember, this pump literally had nothing to do with anything outside of Trump saying, hey, man, if you're a top 100 owner of the Trump coin, we'll have dinner together. And then people are like, dang, dude, I want to have dinner with Trump. Let's buy this crap. I mean, that's all that happened. Before that, you were making the lowest low. But yeah, I get it. 88% retrace, man. You're at the 88 low to the high up there. It's probably an 886, probably lower than 886 to be real. If you use the candle close though, you know, forget the scam wick, the crazy FOMO. Candle open, candle close. It's like 886. So there's no structure down there though, man. I didn't like it. Still don't really give a crap about it. I don't see anything that makes sense. Nah, I mean that's just like any scam that rugs, and then near the bottom the devs come out and say, well, we're handing out free keychains if you own it. Oh my god, people buy it, and then it's like, okay, well, how much demand was there? Well, there clearly wasn't enough demand to rival the March 2nd high. That also was created from Trump, a tweet.
Lucky Lurker tipped $25. Lord Ray, can we look at Paramount? Should I keep my subscription or dump this trash? Thanks. Flexed biceps emoji.
Lucky Lurker, thanks, dude. Paramount, what subscription? What do they produce that you watch? Don't they do like Halo or something? But it's all woke garbage anyway. Yeah, I don't know. You tell me why you'd keep it despite the technicals. Yeah, so all I see is, right, what are the most discernible events on Trumpcoin for now? And I'm just saying for now, because it could change, right? Well, lower low. Now what? Oh, look. Lower high. Then this high. Then this low. Then this high, this low. Lower high, lower low. Now you break $17, $17.60. All right, next target gonna be 21.56. Very nice, but it's just not a good argument. But maybe it holds up, dude. Maybe, dude. People are gonna be like, but bro, look, man. Look at these candle closes. It was swing lows. It was swing high. I guess they're defending 1248. Like, if you were like forcing me against my will to own this, I would have a stop loss at like 1188 or something, 1187, because that is maybe what they're trying to do. The support resistance, maybe they're trying to flip it and hold it as support, and then if that's the case, then $17 would maybe be your target, dude. I don't know. You paid to see it. I'm trying everything I can to help here. Okay, thanks, man. And there you go. Bitcoin can't do it, man. Only up 0.38% today. That's like a lot of downside if it's really gonna fail here, you know, to the bottom of the channel, which is such a freaking amazingly respected channel. But I mean, if it goes to the bottom, it's like 94.6. Yikes. This whole week's gain's gone if that happens. So just be aware of what's going on here. All right, your Trumpcoin, dude. Congrats. I hope it makes a higher high and goes to $77 again. Nice. All right, Kaspa. Old short setup. Successfully played out by like $1. Or to the cent, really. Kaspa. Here's the issue, man. This is what... I like how it's rallying the past 3 days. That's phenomenal, dude. That's so good. But you got a couple problems here. Couple problems. This high right here, 88% retrace from this high. You see it. What is it? Possibly. What could it possibly be? I hope it's not, man. Because I think you might like it. But I hope it's not a perfect bearish sharp pattern. Bearish continuation pattern and a downtrend. So this is going to be valid probably until buyers recapture 10.3 cents and hold it for a while. Yeah, you might be going for a type 2 return or something. They might go test the 200 moving average. Just, you don't want to top out. Wherever you do top out, you do not want to make a lower high than 11.3 cents, the previous discernible swing high from February. So, because it could just be getting set up to go way lower again, which I can't really be against it, man. It's Kaspa, it's crypto, dude. The trend is not your friend. I don't care what people are telling you about Kaspa coin. It's not in an uptrend yet. And like, I don't make the rules. There's trend analysis, and there are rules of the trend analysis in order to make it an uptrend. And it's pretty simple. It's consecutive higher highs, higher lows. Favorable price action to key levels from history. Well, you don't have favorable price action yet to key levels. In fact, you have unfavorable price action to the key levels, right? Look where the traders settled up. The candle close was at the resistance, and then it reversed right there. So that's still negative price action correlation to the level. And it all happened at an 88% retrace. So you can't be really good with this until something like this. And that's the only way you get an edge to maybe get to have an optimum risk management trading plan. I mean, you'd have to recapture levels and then reconfirm it, and a couple times probably to really make like something like that. You don't have that, and until you do, I mean, you could come see that the problem is the trend's not good, the bearish pattern. We know type 2 returns exist, so we can come up, make a slightly higher high, hit the 200, and then start rolling over, and then it's confirmed, right? The pattern confirms itself, and then you fall below this level, and then it's like, oh wow, then we just mark down. So I would just still, I want to get behind things, man. Like if you request something, I'm gonna do what I can, but if it's just not there yet, it's not there. Right, like something like this, it's a different story back here. Go back to the streams in November, October 2023. We were looking at this. It was we were singing the graces of the ascending trend. I was like, I can't believe it looks this good. This is out of a book. And it was respected so well. Like it exceeded the measure move by like 10 times. It was incredible. And look, the trend was good, but then after you broke this old high, what a reaccumulation structure in an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Then the higher highs stopped, but sell wall was put in, but the higher lows kept coming in, and you blasted off. So you're just not in the same environment. Like you don't have the same stuff going on. You could only say lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lowest low, lowest high so far, lowest high until the new data presents itself. But like, who are you to say that it's gonna do that? I don't know, but I can tell you what I'm looking at is it is the lowest high right now by, one fib node, the 886. And so, again, just going back, right? This is all like, this was Kaspa in February, late February. Okay. It was bad trend. You had this crazy reflexive rally, kind of. Maybe they tested that scam wick low, and it was so weak. Like they couldn't even test that moving average. It started showing local distribution, and the weakness was coming in. And it was like, all right, that's probably a really good short opportunity. Okay. And so what happened, after that? Just identifying the trend, lower highs, lower lows, then one high, the same high, and then a slightly lower high, and then just failing. And we knew this is a cliff based on history. This is like Bitcoin's 92K level. Okay, well, it did hit target one. I don't know. We've been here before, and I don't know why the data changed, but if you look here, 5.299. This is stupid. Okay, this is really stupid because this is 5.299 right here where we hit, which was the target of the trade setup based on looking left at this level. I don't know why. Sometimes TradingView does this. It will not oh wait, hold on. Sorry, there we go. You had to hit it twice. So yes, target one of that short hit, right? And that was it because short's going to cover at support resistance, which is buying back. And then the rally all the way back to the entry. That's why it's important to take profit, And so we're back to the entry now, but it's an 886. And so I'm just kind of pretty, and look how close it was to getting stopped out. If you had your stop loss, it didn't get triggered though, thankfully. So yeah, man, I just still in a downtrend. Just making the deepest retrace, but I'm rooting for it, man. I hope if you own it, it goes to $1 billion and you get rich, man. That's always what I'm hoping. Okay. Yeah, Bitcoin selling off into the close, and you're gonna, that's gonna be a big rejection candle. So, don't know. This. Not really good price action. That's not what we were looking for. We were hoping, they were testing, they were breaking it, but every single time, just too much effing supply at supply line. Thanks for lurking, Mudstar. You don't know what a type 2 is? It's the harmonic framework, okay? What? Weird. Hold on, I'll show you. So like when harmonics complete, for instance, S&P 500. When harmonics complete, they get to the pattern completion zone, the price reversal zone. Like this is the 1618. This is a bearish deep crab. So that's a type 1 reaction. You got the reaction. But market participants don't really know that it's truly the top. So oftentimes, attempted rallies occur to rival that pattern completion zone, price reversal zone. And after spending time, a second time, buyers testing and failing to break higher, they start relenting. The sellers start taking over. That's the type 2 return. So both of these are the type 2 return. It's like local forms of confirmation. Stronger type 2 when you get a local peak, one peak and then a second peak. So both of these, that's the type 2 return. Okay, and then this is the type 1 reaction, right? You react, then you reverse. You react and then you reverse on the type 2 return. So all harmonics, like if you're trying to trade, you're a harmonic trader, like you're looking for the type 2 return for the more pronounced drawdown. Or flip it over, it's a bullish deep crab, type 1 reaction, type 2 return. That's after the second test. It's just like double bottoms, right? Double bottom after complex wave structure completes, though, stronger. So you think about the second time market participants around the world see a second major failed test, and most market participants feel a lot more comfortable because, you know, traders are going to be risk averse. They want forms of confirmation. If they get it like this, that's when you get the more pronounced move, okay, for the complete resolution of this structure. So type 1 reaction, type 2 return. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully you learned something. I don't know. There's only 5 people watching, right? Probably everyone in here knows that already, right? So yeah, thanks for the 500 people here. Dead streamer streaming. Okay. We got less than 6 minutes till the closing bell. It's the second of the month, second best day to join the Patreon/Citadel, where you get access to trade setups, education, premium Discord chat, my charts daily I'm posting, and above all, you're supporting a 100% crowdsourced community and stream. I don't know if it's really. The more I do this, the longer I'm doing this, the more I'm like, man, maybe there's just people don't value ad-free, sponsorship-free content. It's more like, okay, people don't care if they watch ads or get rug pulled by their streamer, you know, because it's like doing this, you know, like what I change it up, and it's like, what am I gonna do? Change it up, and 500 people watching that appreciate it, like they're gonna feel ostracized and be like, dang, that's not the content I'm watching right now is what I want, not you changing it up and doing something different. So it's like, how do you grow? You know, like, I don't know, man. I know it's gonna be like cringe TikTok shorts in videos, and I don't know, like, we're just running out the clock now. 4 minutes and change. Let's look at MicroStrategy. Unreal, man. It had been killing it. I haven't pulled back yet, but I mean, you're about to be able to say it was going to be the highest close since mid-December. It's going for the highest close since mid-January. $400, $440. Those are some targets. You're up against a resistance here. Any pullback at this point, you come back, test 333. It could be an amazing opportunity for a long. Now, you're starting to get long in the tooth, man. This is a wave, okay? And the waves always conclude, even if they're shorter new waves. A higher low would be great, but yeah, you're up. You're going to close the week after testing a resistance. So any MicroStrategy MSTU boys, just know like there could be a mild pullback. There's a gap unfilled at 351. That's a good target, you know. So just letting you know, people might close out the week and wonderful. Let's look at the weekly here. Yeah, I'll probably watch the Kentucky Derby tomorrow, man. I was talking about we should crowdsource a horse to race in the Derby and call it fart coin, like they do with the, you know, race cars. They get sponsors and they got all the decals on the car. We get the fart coin logo, or we shave fart coin and the logo on the horse, or we could do cold. What is it? Cold branding, so it doesn't hurt the horse, but it's branded in fart coin. The world would know. We would change things. Man, we were so close for a higher weekly close than that, but looks like we're going to close at our highest level since January 13th. If you closed any higher, it'd be the highest close since December 9th. But dude, you got to understand, man, that's a whole month of higher closes than before, and you're up against resistance. This is definitely where maybe we get some pullback next week. I'm not saying I know, but closing at resistance, closing on highs, man. Are they really just going to, next week's, the wave will just continue unmolested to 440? That's beautiful. Now, what was it, CEPO? This is a Cantor Equity Partners. This is a clone, a MicroStrategy clone. There will only be more of these being created, by the way. Not less, only more. Going for its highest daily candle close ever. What a week. What a month. Let's look at the weekly. Look at last week. It was up 10.6%. This week, up 4.8%. Monthly. Last month, 12.5%. This month, already 4%. Crazy, man. MicroStrategy is front-running Bitcoin, kind of like it did last year. And so there is also another new clone. It's right here. Metaplanet MTPLF. Like I feel probably like if Bitcoin's gonna do the 100K, MicroStrategy going to all-time highs or something. If we're gonna do the thing, this thing's going back to $5. I mean, really nice test of these lows once and twice, and then I like this where they made a high or low again, kind of morning star, and now you're going for your highest daily candle close since February 25th. It's interesting. Yeah, I think like Bitcoin treasury companies are better than altcoins. I think they're probably going to be better than Bitcoin miners. All right, chat. There it is. 4-hour candle close, daily candle close, weekly candle close. Jesus chimes. Highest daily candle close confirmed on the S&P 500 since March 27th. Weekly close, though, was beautiful. It recaptured formally on the close, 565. The high from July and August. That's a big deal, man. So,
please clap.
bullish and golden candle last week. Certainly caught follow through this week. Nice. Piercing line reversal was prophetic at this point. You don't know then. All you can do is identify it. And little do you know, wow, it was a reversal on extremely high volume. After front running the old all-time high from 2021, 2022 by like a couple bucks, just like Bitcoin. Dow Jones weekly close, highest weekly close, officially since March 24th. They recaptured that 41.2 level. Very nice. Nearing a 61.8% retrace. Going to put you at 41.8. Probably a little more upside. Unfilled gap up there too on the daily. NASDAQ, let's freaking go, dude. Highest weekly candle close since March 3rd. 2-month highs on the NASDAQ and SPIDA. And I guess what you could say is you're pretty much up against this peak from August 19th. Above that, it's 18,653. Ripping and roaring, man. Making a comeback. How deep? So far, nearly a 61% retrace. IWM recaptured the 200-week moving average, but closed pretty much at resistance, right? Closed above some parts of it, but yeah, it's a zone. So 201 below it, but closed at it. Incredible. Let's look at gold. Gold's weekly close. Well, it'll be another hour, I think, right, till it actually closes. Yeah, another hour. But chat, the daily, we already identified the shooting star dark cloud cover reversal, the gap down follow through candle. Okay, we identified it. But mother of God, come on. We're at a 2.618 fib extension, an outer fib extension, which I'm talking anchoring from the old 2012-11 high to the low, the cup with handle. 618 reacted there for a little while, broke it, and now 2618. And at the 2618, what? Bearish pin bar, evening star, shooting star vibes. I mean, this candle is confirming this reversal. I think gold's reversing for the short term. Like, maybe not, but that right there, this 3 Japanese candlestick situation, you peek out, you paint the pattern, then you catch the follow through the next week. That's like, okay, yeah, you're cooked. Sell in May, go away on gold. Rotation occurring. I don't know how that's going to affect silver, copper, other metals, but that right there, when you're hitting a major 2.618 fib extension, you're painting this, you're catching follow through candle, that could be it for a while. And you pull back, and you probably make a higher low. You're definitely going to make a higher low than 2600 eventually, the last discernible swing low of any sort. And you'll pivot and you'll run again later. But like that could be it for now, unless something crazy happens. That's what kind of tops sometimes look like, but we'll see. Oh yeah, the VIX crashed today pretty much, down 8%. VIX lowest level seen in a month since April 2nd. The VIX. Yep, lowest weekly candle close since March 24th. Yeah, it's almost like certain. You get to 60 plus on the VIX, short it. Short it, lever short, or don't lever short. Apparently, if you don't lever and you short at 65 VIX, you hold it, you win every time, almost 100%. So you'd have won this time. So next time we'll be on the lookout, right? Short the VIX. I was up with my Wall Street bros. We went to a really famous club up there, and they had bottle service, and on the sign it said short the VIX. All right. How about those yields? 30-year yield? Oh no. Really? They're recovering it. They're like trying to recapture 4.77%. What's that? Oh yeah, just crazy support resistance from 1998, 2001, 08, 09, 2011. You kidding me? So they're trying to recapture it on the week, up 1.38% today. Up 1.38% on the week. Wow, I thought it was about to be cooked. And of course, the controversy. Yeah, bonds might not be out of the woods yet. Are you kidding? Look at this. Like, okay, we're starting to show positive momentum. About to confirm positive momentum histogram wick in an hour, 24 minutes. Daily? What? I thought it was just like, okay, we're confirming a top now. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, but confirm top, and we're selling off. Oh, we're breaking the support resistance, and now it's like they're possibly recapturing it. Oh no, how is this possible? How are we? How am I looking at the 30-year yield, and somehow there's like a form of like hidden bullish divergence going on while they recapture a key level? I hope it's not real, man, because that's like bad. Okay. But I guess it's making more sense now because if the equities market is recovering, then it's probably not good for bonds. So the bonds, why would the bonds be defended when people would put their money in equities that are recovering? So that would make yields go up. So I guess it's back in line with making sense again. Okay. Look at some random stuff like LAC, man. LAC's so freaking nuts. They can't break the 200. I own this. I don't care. I don't have like a life-changing position. I just own it, and I own it because of the structure. The structure, the context of the structure, and then the looking left. This is just, to me, I think we might wake up, and it might take 6 months to a year, but we look back, and eventually, LAC is filling the gap from April of 2024. Like that's what I think eventually. Give me enough time on LAC. Give me unlimited time. I think we eventually fill that gap from this structure, confirming a bottom, an old resistance as support. And look, man, this is why I like Harmonics with type 2 returns. Type 2 returns. Remember, type 1 reaction, type 2 return. First time no one knows, second time everyone knows. So more people gain confidence to believe that a more pronounced rally is in store after the second test, second failure from sellers. So we're just waiting on a catalyst or something. I hate this. We have earnings on the 19th, a few weeks, less than a few weeks. So maybe we don't get killed by that. That's what I hate, man. I hate about earnings, dude. It's like it could just be down 20% because stupid. But man, you cannot take away this godlike pattern at good levels. So position trade, we would call it. Gonna be holding this thing for probably months. Then Lockheed Martin was another like good one, but yeah, I don't know what happened today. I just freaked out, but yeah, maybe we get closer to 442. Post a trade setup on it, but yeah, it's all about the monthly. The monthly, what? Yeah, the monthly, dude. Who cares what happens today, tomorrow, next week on Lockheed Martin when you literally had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, an entire half of year sell off. From the top of the channel to the bottom. This goes back, this is almost 7 year trend, hitting the demand line for 3 weeks, and on the 3 months, an entire quarter of testing this demand line, and they held it and then engulfed. And that's like, if that's not a signal, I don't know what is. And then you've got hidden bullish divergence on the monthly at the demand line, highest low of uptrend. Yeah, this is the highest low in the history of Lockheed Martin on the monthly. Can you believe it? People wouldn't believe it. You can't believe it's the highest low ever. So, okay. Oversold in uptrend, bullish engulfing signal candle with an edge on the oscillators on the monthly. Who cares what happens intra-month? Maybe we get lucky and we get a little bit of a sell-off to get closer to 442 for risk management purposes. But other than that, you're sitting in this and you wait until probably 620 something. It could take half a year, though, or more. Yeah, monthly chart, long term. Oh, yeah, we could look at Bitcoin dominances weekly. 8 weeklies in a row. Look at this thing, man. I mean, it's pretty much at the highs of years. Weekly? Good God. This is just so telling. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're going for 9, right? Am I counting wrong? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ravi, going for 9. Okay, and before Matone Vase, dude, the subsequential 9 or what it may be, but I just don't see how the narrative changes. It's a runaway freight train. Yeah, I'll call it receding volume. I don't really care. Yep, there is nothing here really until I think 70%. It's the Bitcoin show. What's up, social affairs? Sub-Zero, Set, Wayne, David, a few of y'all here today. Appreciate the support, man. I don't know. Been going through we had Discord drama and stuff, and that hasn't been fun at all. Trying to resolve that and make the right decisions when it's there's no winning in situations like that. I'm sorry, there's just not. And then, yeah, just viewership down. I've streamed almost every day this week. I've gained 3 YouTube subs, 4 YouTube subs. So everyone watching here, you're not a unique viewer. You're just a real one. Okay, so I'm not growing at all, and it's probably been weeks I haven't grown any. So it's just hey man, making money on the markets. Wow, oh my God, the past few weeks my portfolio's recovered a lot, but man, the YouTube streaming world is bear market asking. Yeah. So it's not really I don't know, man. It's just don't know what I can do. Really, nothing. There's nothing I can do. Just wait until Bitcoin breaks to 100K, and then people will double our concurrent viewership. Bitcoin goes up another $3,000, pretty much. Yeah, so it's man, we didn't spend any time really on altcoins because, dude, they just, it's not about them. I mean, yeah, there are ones that are up today, but who cares? They're gonna underperform Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash is one that on the monthly, this is crazy, okay? Look at Bitcoin Cash on the monthly. Let me show you here. This is crazy, okay? This could be a long of all longs because it's the monthly. And I'm just showing you because you're here still, and it's dude, if you're still watching this stream, 500 of y'all still watching after an hour, 13 minutes on a Friday afternoon, the market closed, congrats, dude. So right here, the monthly candle close record, July of 2017, when everything turned around, they even back tested it. It became forged and edged into the sands of time on Bitcoin Cash. It had been a reversal in 2023. It flipped to support once and then twice, discernibly twice, locally. Bullish engulfing candle. Not one time did traders settle up below that level at any point from July last year to now. And you just got to wonder, are we confirming over the course of 6 months that what was once support from history is support again? And confirmed with a bullish engulfing candle. That right there, that's enough evidence for a long on Bitcoin Cash for a position trade, okay? Where you just hold it and own it until it falls below 299, maybe for real. But the upside potential could just be massive if this is actually real. Now, there aren't many altcoins I see that look like this at all. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Pretty amazing. I don't know. Whatever. Yep. Tons of hype in the chat for this, for sure. I can't even read chat. It's moving so fast. Anyway, look on the daily. Yeah, it was bad, man. I hated it below 308. But they recaptured it and they reconfirmed it as support. Now you're just rallying. Going for your highest daily candle close since March 8th. And it's like a dragon. It's like the Bitcoin Cash bullish dragon. See right there? And what's so crazy about this dragon foot, the second foot, when they broke the dragon spine, that's the supply line. When they back tested the dragon spine as support, they also formally back tested the key inflection zone. We know it, 308 to 315, so big of a deal. And once it did that, two birds, one stone at the same time, right? The rally, and now talk about targets for a dragon breakout. 50%, 445, 618, perfect target. That's like got to be the hard target. 490. The 618 confluent with some major overhead resistance back from 2020, 2019. That's just I think like above 315 long enough, that's the target. So that's a good target for Bitcoin Cash if what we're witnessing is real. The dragon, okay? Very similar to Bitcoin. But the issue, think about the underperformance here. So we have the exact same type of structure that Bitcoin had, but here's the thing. The underperformance on this is extremely evident, just like XRP, just like Solana, just like Ethereum. If this was the Bitcoin chart, if it was, this asset would be trading about right here, about a little over $500, because Bitcoin has retraced over 61.8% of the way from its all-time high to its lowest point of the downtrend of the correction. So this is massively underperforming Bitcoin, like really bad. But most are underperforming this bad or way worse. Like Ethereum hasn't even made a 23% retrace from its top from December. Yeah, so you think about it like that, man. Like there's upside, but man, Bitcoin Cash paired against Bitcoin probably looks terrible. So look at it. I probably haven't looked at this in years. Because like, why would I? Why do I care about Bitcoin Cash paired against Bitcoin? Hey, look at this, man. Like hit all-time lows a couple months ago. Lowest highs ever, right? I mean, whatever. Like any rally you get on these charts is going to be short-lived. And it's going to turn into the lower high and it's going to roll over to lower lows. So great, man. Yeah, it's down here. They defended the Scamwick low from 2023, I guess, right? That's right there. So if Bitcoin Cash rallies and it outperforms Bitcoin, it will be short-lived. It will be temporary. And then Bitcoin itself will outperform Bitcoin Cash again and again and again. As you can see clearly, always Bitcoin is outperforming Bitcoin Cash, given enough time. Anyway, so Bitcoin's weekly won't be closing until Sunday evening. Guess I'll be live for that if people want. I don't even know anymore, dude. Don't even know if like what I'm doing is even valuable anymore due to like just this. YouTube streaming is this. That. Since January 20th, that. So maybe I'll be back on Sunday, I guess. So thank y'all for coming out. Thanks for likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. I'll be back sometime, man. Until next time, respect the TA.